Well, it sounds like the music is lagging, folks. Good day. August 1st, 2023. This is Connor MacIvor with Tim Blankenship of Divorce 661. Connor MacIvor, the Fat Fit Realtor. This is the SCV Insider Podcast. Special thanks before I open this to Tim. Special thanks to Javiva 2626, who stated a couple of days ago about our show, worst show ever. So thank you very much. My dad always says it's good to ascribe to be something, and we like that. So thank you for your feedback. We're going to change it all just because of you. Tim, how are you?
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad we could irritate someone.
Worst show ever. Thank you.
Would that show up on your YouTube or what?
Yeah, I pulled it through the YouTube channel.
Jealous.
It was through I was doing some shorts, converting it to shorts, playing around with it. It was some obscure comments, Let's just share that.
That Gary Vaynerchuk, the guy talks about marketing and all that.
Oh, the wine guy, yeah.
He says
his dad's wine store.
Yeah, he says embrace the people that leave nasty comments, because think how bad their life must be to take the time to click comment and actually write that out.
Yeah.
He says embrace those people and feel bad for them. And that's worked for me lately, because I've been getting a lot of comments, and we'll talk about that in the marketing section on a little tactic I've been doing that's created engagement, not always positive, but engagement nonetheless.
Sure. Yeah. And again, they always talk about how even negative publicity is good publicity.
I think so.
Just get it out there. Yeah, that's funny. That Gary Vaynerchuk, yeah, he became, he grew pretty quickly, pretty fast. He had some out-of-the-box ideas with regard to building just a very simple wine liquor store. I mean, not even a real great
online, yeah.
Turn that into, he just really ran with it. Incredible story. Very
so what's new with you?
I was going to say it seems like the world is just remaining exciting. Was there something about some kind of purchase, some online company by Pelosi? Did you hear this? She went in and bought stock, and then a few hours later sold it and made $43 million.
Well, unless that's new, that's not past. That's not the first time.
That's not new then. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's new to me because I just heard it. I was very excited. I was like, wow.
It's probably happened again. She keeps getting away with it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's, I mean, what's 43 million? I mean, you can be depressed and poor or depressed and rich.
Only in America can you be a legislature making what, 200,000 a year, but be a multimillionaire.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So about me, the life's going good. I've been hitting the gym real hard still, and also doing the house workouts as well. I've been doing these 300s every evening. So I'll get. You seen that guy? He's just massive. Not Ric Flair. That's an old wrestler. If you see him, you'd know who he is. He's just big. Lots of tattoos. Younger, but just, I mean, like bowling balls everywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he does this, and he'll do 300 hammer curls seated, and he'll do them in 100 increments, and he uses 15-pound dumbbell.
Okay.
So you sit there and you crank out 100, and then you lie back, and then when you lie back, then you do the tricep extensions, the hyper tricep extensions. You do 100 of those, same dumbbell. And then you sit up and you do 100 of the hammer curls. Then you do 100 of the triceps. So you do 300 of those every night before you go to sleep. So I've been doing that for about a week.
For biceps and triceps?
Yeah, just that. I mean, that doesn't include your regular workout and all the other fancy stuff.
Oh, that's extra.
But just kind of, and whether you had a back day or a bi day or a tri day, doesn't matter. You just do it. I don't know. I'm playing with it. I think it's fun. Just adding on extra.
I had a personal trainer for a while, a few years ago, that did something similar. At the end of the workout, it was 60, I think it was 3 sets of 60, but it was just the biceps. It wasn't It wasn't the triceps. So I think it was lightweight, 15s or whatever you could do to get the 60
Yeah.
up without stopping. But I think it's the whole time under tension deal.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot of volume. And, volume is just the same. If you're talking about growing mass, strength kind of different, but mass,
Yeah.
you get that hypertrophy, muscular hypertrophy, right?
You got it.
Break that stuff down and you build it back. So, and you came back or you went or what's
Yeah,
going on in your life?
little trip. We can't get away for weeks at a time, being a small business. So we usually do little Friday, Saturday, Sundays. This one we snuck in a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Bass Lake, went and rented a pontoon boat, just kind of hung out on the lake, went swimming. They have a little area where the inlet is where you can slide on down the rocks, down a waterfall. So
Oh wow. Yeah.
really just hang out, eat the restaurant. We cook a lot of our own food at the campsite, motorhome. But yeah, good trip.
Lots of barbecue, huh? Or is it barbecue mainly? You got the stove and everything in that thing.
We've transitioned to is a Blackstone, so flat.
No, are you serious?
Yeah, you pretty much
That's
can
cool.
cook everything on that. So if you're going to take one thing with you, otherwise you're carrying a smoker and a barbecue and the Blackstone. But the Blackstone, you can cook steak just fine. And then the good thing is for breakfast, you can make eggs on it. It's a big.
Yeah, it doesn't fall through the grill.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't need a separate
eggs
pan
are hard.
for it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's propane, I guess.
Yeah.
And you transportable on purpose?
Yeah, so ours is a smaller tabletop version, so it doesn't have legs. So it's probably, I don't know, 24 inches wide by maybe 8 inches high, and put it in a bag and it fits in the RV fine. Put it on top of the picnic table, hook up your propane, and you're good to go.
Yeah, because all you need is that and then the connection.
Yep.
Oh, and then the lighter for it is like any butane or propane grill. You just push a button.
Yeah, just press a button, little clicker button.
I don't know. I haven't actually seen one like in person except for Kabuki or Tapan or whatever.
Yeah, and that's just one brand. There's multiple brands out there. You can get them at Costco and Sam's Club for $150.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I've been practicing, every day I take the motorcycle, I practice. I spend like 10, 15 minutes combination braking and lock-to-lock turns in the parking lot. And I almost ate shit yesterday.
Did you?
You gotta pay attention.
You doing like a parking lot or?
Yeah, I do in the parking lot. So I just, kind of keeping up on. I mean, I don't go fast. I don't split traffic. I just sit. I wait. Those people that jump that light on the bikes, oh my God.
Yeah.
You remember the crashes, the K traffics you used to go to?
Oh, yeah.
Motorcycles are involved. It's always the one that's jumping into that intersection right when it goes green.
Yep.
Because you got the other moron that blew the red. Oh, it's so nasty.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't even do it. I sit back.
You find yourself driving quite a bit in town? You go and do your listings and all that?
Yeah, quite a bit. I got it to 600 miles quick, and I'll probably do 100 miles a week.
Do your clients enjoy that when you're driving them to listings? They like riding on the back?
Yeah, they'll get them on the back. The thing is, it's the helmet, Tim. The helmet's hard to get the right fit because people's heads are different shapes.
Yeah.
And
I got a foam insert that one size fits all.
Yeah, well, I got this one client, Hank, and he's got this massive melon, and even a double extra large bell won't fit him. So because he's my client, I ordered him a triple X, but it's got to be a showy. And I can't wait to see it on him. But you know what I don't like when Hank rides with me on the motorcycle when I'm showing him houses? He holds on too tight to me. It's a weird. I almost want to say
it's where he holds on.
Well, and I want to say he's scared, and I get that, but there's a different way to hold people when you're scared. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Just for the good of the audience. No, but I don't drive anybody on it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's even not a thing in real estate. You don't even, you don't drive people around showing them houses much anymore. That's not they meet you there. And a lot of times that's even more comfortable for the client because now you don't have all that high pressure sales pitch that occurs as you're driving in a car with the agent.
Yeah.
Because it all comes, how'd you like it? Oh, can you see yourself living there? Wow. Wouldn't that be nice if you took your dog Samantha and put her in the back bedroom. Wouldn't she love that? Or your cat Nikki, and so on. Blah, 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 blah. They don't like
Kind of have
that.
those awkward conversations. So that's interesting. You don't drive people around; they just follow you, huh?
Yep. And usually they have the itinerary, the map, and the locations, and we just meet. I used to do follow me to the next one, but there's a lot of maintenance, and used to pull that undercover shit in the valley. Following people, the trails of people. You'll have 4 or 5 cars all involved in the following,
Yeah.
so you guys all switch up, and it's not easy to
So it's just
balance it
I'll
all
meet you at
correct.
the next house, and then I'll see you when I
It's
see you.
easy. Yeah, yeah. I'll see you at the next one. Then I always start, I preface any kind of a journey into the real estate realm of finding houses. I always preface it, you're going to have that moment that you're going to see something you probably really like, and you're not going to know what to say. And part of you is scared to say it because you think I'm going to jump on you and we're going to go buy a house. That's not what's going to happen. You just got to communicate with me, though, and let me know your feelings so I know how to properly respond. That's important. If you keep it to yourself, you're going to regret it. So whatever you're feeling, let me know. And then it always happens. You take them to that one house and you take them outside, you're standing there, and nobody's saying anything. It's like everybody got mute all of a sudden. Nobody can talk. I say, all right. So then I say, remember what we were talking about before? This is that thing that you guys need to talk about. So then, it opens up and we laugh.
Yeah.
But,
Just thinking that's probably better for the buyers is they get that time to have that conversation with their spouse after they've seen the house and not feel like they have to guard their words or even have you interject, right? They get to have that open conversation after each listing.
much better. And it's much better. And a lot of them, I'll have them, I'll hand them a notebook and a pen so they can take notes. I mean, that's kind of important too, because, on your phone's one thing, but writing something with that tactile feedback on the paper and the pen, and that just brings back, at least for our generation, that brings back memories. For the new generation that grew up with iPads and, maybe not, but there's still something about it. So
Yeah.
it's partly romantic, but not.
Since we're on the real
Romance.
estate topic,
Oh,
you had sent something over about the housing market.
yeah. So these are 5 reasons, and he put it very eloquently. 5 reasons as to why we're not in that same place that we were back in '08. And of course, the first one's super obvious and almost turned me off. But go ahead.
All
Can
right.
we hear it on this end?
Let me see if I'm gonna turn it up real loud on my end to see if we can hear it. Maybe I should turn that on.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. Then I'll turn it down.
So what I have.
Uh-huh.
So this cat here, I pulled him up. Let me pull this back here. Let me look at it here. I sent you the thing. I have it here. So that one. So basically, he talks about how the housing market will not crash, and then he gets into the housing market's not going to crash for a couple of reasons. The first reason he states is it's not 2008, and basically he means by that the loans that people were written shouldn't have been written in the first place. They did not qualify.
Right.
There's no way. So today is exactly the opposite. But then he also says number 2 is 40% of Americans don't have a mortgage. So those houses aren't going to foreclose unless something tragic. But then you have 62% of people out there with a mortgage less than 4% interest. So then you have 2 and 3, 4% interest rates out there.
Yeah.
Those people aren't going to be selling anything. They're locked in. They're going to rent that house before they sell it because they can cash flow it. They're going to be staying put. So that's what's keeping our inventory low. So then you have the institutional investors. They're out there buying 25% of properties in the $400,000 range. So that's keeping inventory low. Regular people can't compete, and those are all cash deals. Just, and the same thing, a lot of even the $1 million stuff. These are people that have been waiting. And then finally, besides the investors, number 5, the 5th reason he talks about is the buyers are a lot more qualified, which kind of ties in a little bit with number 3, but still, buyers are much more qualified than they've ever been. And in fact, there's fail-safe measures all the way through the lending process that ensure that they are actually always still continually capable of financing that residence there in escrow on all the way through the last moment, pretty much. So that being the case, so I thought it was put. He put it very well. So that's what that one was about.
Yeah. Are you surprised at that number two, that 42% of homeowners have no mortgage?
I was at the beginning, then I kind of thought a little bit deeper. We have a very large elderly population. Most of those folks are kind of that generation. They're going to pay stuff off. Maybe the newer generation, they're going to use other people's money as leverage. I think that generation, if you look at the United States as a whole, there's a lot of stuff that's not in these big cities and that's priced a lot more reasonably that you could pay off in New Mexico, where I'm from. Buy a house for $70,000, $80,000. Well, it's probably a while back, but still, it's not bad. You can pay that off in 30 years.
It's interesting. It doesn't seem that interest rates spiking as they have is slowed down buyers. There's a new development in Tesoro. We saw, and they started at 1.1 million. Yeah, and they're when you look at the little block in there, they're selling.
Yeah, and if you talk about the loans and those types of financing people are using, like I said before, a lot of people are coming into these things with cash, and it's because inventory is so limited. New housing can't overcompensate the market, and I think he mentioned this too. New housing can't do it just for the simple reason they don't have the supplies to build the houses in the plentiful numbers that we had prior to COVID. So if there were a chance, it was like a safety mechanism was built into it with COVID. Like it or hate it, it did cause that supply chain interruption, and that supply chain interruption continues us on the track where we are with a limited inventory, no chance of overbuilding at least for 5 to 7 years. I heard the other day some fancy person talking, and that's the case. We're going to be sitting good for at least 3 or 4 years. The interest rates, those continuing to go up, if they do, that's going to cause a little bit of disruption in the market, but it's not going to be a foreclosure market just because of all the equity that's out there.
Yeah. Any other updates in the real estate world?
Man, I took the whole show. You gotta share with us some of that good divorce juicy cheese you got there. That divorce cheese, I think.
Talking about the divorce stuff. Yeah,
what do you got?
It's been pretty steady. I think my business has a good feel for how many divorce cases are happening just in general, because I do handle all of California to a degree, meaning the further out we get, from LA County, we have fewer and fewer, but we do get them from all counties in California. But this year has been more steady. I don't know if it's as a result of my marketing being better, that we're getting more cases. We're averaging, just looking at the stats, as high as 33 cases a month. But we average it out because January through April is usually busy, and then spring break slows down a little bit, and then all of summer, maybe usually 50% lower, but this year's only been about 70, or I should say, 50% lower. Normally 25% drop this time. So these last maybe month and maybe even August, we usually pick up again. So June, July, we usually see a little 25% reduction. So on average, over ending yesterday, July 31st, 22 cases a month, just for my company. So it's been higher. Definitely there was a decrease, but it's definitely been higher than normal. And again, I don't know if that's just more people getting divorced or just better marketing on my end.
I would have to say I'm gonna go with the stroke. I'm gonna say it's the better marketing, because you've increased your video production quite a bit.
It's been a lot, yeah.
And you've gone from, so basically now your videos share the same formatting sequences as the top videos on the channel, which isn't by accident. It's not, how you and I did it was just threw it out there, got it done. There was no really preparation to the video itself besides just shooting it.
Right.
But now If you look at all the most popular stuff that's really has a lot of views, you're right there, and you're sharing. You're just doing the work, is what it is. You're working. You learned it. You learned how to do it. That's the biggest curve for me, and I think it is with you. Just learning how to do it, practicing it, so now it's easy. That's the hardest part for me, because there's, knowing which things to do first and getting them all in sequence, and then doing it all correctly. And then, because there's so many mistakes that are made, it's like, God, I should have done this first. Now I got to go back and do it. And it's more difficult to, build than destroy and this and that.
Yeah.
But once you get it, then you're dangerous, because now you can do it seamlessly all across the board every single day at the times you want. So you've gotten very smart about it. And I think that's bringing you revenue.
We're talking about marquee now. Sorry, I have allergies like there's no tomorrow. It's kind of finding a pattern that you can follow. Like a system. Like you start with the recording, put it into the captions, and then do the editing, and then do the uploads, and do the titles, and just kind of just hitting that repetition. And of course, posting them across all the various platforms. But I've got it down to where, and what I will do now is when people ask a question, like when I'm doing consultations, if they've asked the question that I've probably answered 1,000 times with a slightly different twist, I will do another video on that with that frame of mind, and it does make it for different content. So I can have a consultation, walk away with 3 videos, turn to my camera, and shoot those 3 videos in about 45 seconds. And then I have the work of getting those edited and uploaded. But that's how I'm coming up with those little 10-second clips.
Oh, they're great.
And
you get those repeat watches. You just
exactly,
to the point, concise. You're not drama. You're not freaking out. You're not shaking, whatever. You're shaking your moneymaker. You're just
So what I was telling you earlier is what I have been doing is, because in 10 seconds you can only get out so much information. So I will put out the main point, and it does leave, if that's all there is, it does leave you with, well, that wasn't very informative, right? It was like this big topic, but there's some underlying information that goes with that. So what I'll do is as soon as that posts, I'll go right to the do a pinned comment, and I will literally talk, what is the like the voice note or whatever, you can just talk to text, on your phone, on the comment on itself on YouTube, and I'll just start talking, and instead of it being a narrative, I will do 1 or 2 paragraphs or 3 or 4 paragraphs depending, and just go into depth on that big point that was on the audio portion of the video. And that's causing people to, I don't know if it's when they go to the comments, if the video is playing in the background, but those ones get more engagement, more views, and more comments.
So you're basically starting the first comment to the video that you did, and in that comment you're just basically regurgitating more information about it as long as you want. I don't know what the character length would be on that. 3,000, you think?
I don't know. I haven't run out of room yet, but yeah, I can do 7 or 8 seconds.
Boy, you can throw Chat GPT in there too and ask it to produce some kind of. I wonder if it's more algorithmic, or if people actually stopping and reading it and then responding to it. What do you think?
I think I was surprised that people are actually commenting on my pinned comment, whereas normally I wouldn't get a comment at all in most cases. But yeah, I think they're watching the video, and I don't know if they're purposely looking for comments, because it will show that there's a comment as opposed to no comment, and then they're staying on the channel longer, reading the comment, and then they're responding or asking questions based on my comment versus the video itself.
Yeah, see, I think what's making the difference in that, Rhyme, is you are the one producing what's written. You're not relying on AI to throw together a whole bunch of words. You know how we like back in the day when the black hat SEOs, you could keyword stuff a page, Santa Clarita real estate 500 times, one right after another, and you'd be top page Google or Mr. Jeeves or whatever. Anyway, it's AOL search, something.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good intel, Tim.
So
that's really smart.
That's been good. So it's 10-second video, add your comments to it, and that's kind of worked out. Another thing, there's a guy who purposely, I don't know if you've seen him on TikTok. He's like, oh, check out these top 5 websites, and I forget his name.
Right. Uh-huh.
And in his, and he'll basically turn his phone towards his computer and show you the URL. But behind that he has other tags or tabs open, and on there is like PDFs that say, nude so and so, or Hunter Biden's laptop and stuff like that. So and he does that as a trick. So when he flips his camera and shows the URL, you can purposely see the other tabs, and the majority of comments are people commenting on, hey, did you see that one? He had that something, So
that's really, that's a nice little bait and bait thing. That's cute.
Yeah. So I had that happen to me by accident. Not that exactly, but whenever I really adopted the document, don't create, going back to the Gary Vaynerchuk thing. So instead of trying to create content, just document what you're doing. So that's why I'm able to do so many videos.
Sure.
So the other day, I said, we just filed, I just called the clerk at the Contra Costa Superior Court and blah, blah, blah. And this, just talking about that for a few seconds. And the comments I got were, you can't even spell Contra, you're pronouncing Contra Costa wrong. It's not Costa, it's Costa. just going back to irritating people like we did on that one show a few months ago,
oh my God, with Eminem, does he even have any money anymore?
Getting corrected on everything.
I love what you said. So that was a Gary Vaynerchuk quote. Document what you're doing, not.
He just has a simple thing called document versus create. You can Google, not Google, but go to YouTube and put Gary V.
Off your college.
Document versus create. It's like a 60-second video, and he basically says, stop trying to create content and be, creative. Just document what you do. Hey, I just took a buyers over to a showing, and
That's so dumb. I gotta write that down. That's a lot. Thanks a lot.
So we'll bring up the next topic here.
Okay, yeah.
While you're doing whatever you're doing.
I got it.
So we're showing this. This was that video you sent me, Connor, of them, the immigrants in New York.
Yeah. So what's going on with that? This was sent to me this morning by one of our most avid listeners and watchers. But anyway, so they sent it, and what's happening here? Is this something we need to be concerned about?
No, I think it's the first time we're actually not seeing it, but it being shown. Like, they've moved them into hotels in New York and other cities, and this is what they're doing to the city. I mean, it's happening in Washington, New York, all these other states.
Right.
They've, I forget. I think it was. I forget the town, but they actually had them move into the training center of a police station.
Oh,
so yeah, this is what it looks like. Imagine this being, I don't know, downtown San Diego, or it's not San Diego, but Santa Clarita is what I meant to say.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long that would last. I don't know if the people would have any, if they wanted to try to change it, if that did happen out here. I don't know how much room they would have.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm just glad we don't live in a town that tolerates that or allows that. I think we have a good city council. They're in San Diego. They're creating. Let me see if I can find it. They're creating homeless tents.
Like a tent city.
Basically, yeah.
You remember those during the earthquake down in LA? All the parks. God, it was creepy. When we had we went to, after the Northridge earthquake, we went to an AB schedule. So I was working the night shift from 7 to 7 or 6 to 6 anyway. And we were up, I must have been south traffic then. So we came up into the valley, into Northridge, and it was kind of a creepy situation. You could smell like trash can fires, and the parks. A lot of the people that had to get out of their houses were in the parks. It was very Mad Max-esque, very strange.
Yeah, here's the tent camp. See if I can find some images for it.
Thanks for acknowledging my story.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, it was just from the heart. It was a moment that I had in the past. That's okay. You know what? I'm good. I've been dealing with myself and my emotions for a long time, so it's all right. Just go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's not coming up. But anyways,
Talk about something else.
yeah, I'm just glad it's not happening in our city.
Yeah, right.
We'll leave it there.
Got to go with that. So Gucci. Sorry. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe somebody wasn't body checked as they're trying to get out that door. At least by the white guy standing outside. He could have checked the guy with all the bags.
What are we talking about here?
The Gucci.
I didn't get
It
the
was
Gucci.
yeah, it's the middle link. It just didn't transpose into a picture.
Oh, I didn't pull that one up. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, it's the one ending in OR. It's in between.
Oh, it's just a regular link. Got it.
Yeah, it didn't blow up for some reason.
Got it.
Yeah, this I love this. I thought this Beverly Hills. I love it, but it's sad, but it's like God. I mean, you almost just want to just kind of lean into that one guy with all the bags.
All right, we're working on it here.
All right, no, we're good. We're good.
Got it.
Okay, this is Gucci Beverly Hills. Can you make that bigger? Does it look any? So they went in there and they they grabbed basically grabbed everything they could. Okay, watch this guy. Here's see that greedy guy right there.
Yeah,
that guy right there, the white guy on the left. He should have body checked that mother right into those.
I didn't see the body. Let me see.
No, he should have checked. See, okay, watch the guy with all the bags. He's the real greedy one. No.
The last guy.
No. That's him.
Who's supposed to check him?
No, body check him. So now he's running. See this white guy on the left? Boom, that one.
Oh yeah.
Why not?
They're too busy filming. People film crimes. They don't do anything about it.
I mean, look at that skinny guy. This guy on the left he could have just knocked him into those cactus, just for the fun of it, and went and locked himself into a business.
You know why people don't do it is because that one guy at Home Depot that tried to stop someone and he got knocked down, hit his head, and died. And there was a lady who just got terminated from, was it Whole Foods?
What? For what?
For following out. Hold on here. Let me just find. Let me see if I can find it. Woman fired from San Francisco Whole Foods after. Okay, that's not that one. Anyways, what happened was, let me see if I can find it on YouTube. What happened was she went to and filmed them leaving.
Okay. And these are people that do that, the grab shit and run out people?
Yeah, so someone was leaving with, and I think it was a Whole Foods. Doesn't matter where it was. But employee followed them out, recorded it, followed them to their car. They beat her up, drove off.
Oh.
And
so now
the employer terminated her. The employer terminated her for doing that. So that's why people don't do anything. That's why they don't stop people sexual assaulting people on the trains in New York City. They just record them. And then what happened to the former Marine on the train system? Put a guy into a chokehold.
That's right.
Yep. And now he's facing manslaughter. That's
right.
For what? And that's sad. That's a sad way to.
That's ugly.
Yeah.
That's ugly. Yeah, no, you got a point. I guess. I don't know. I still think we might do something. Because that stupid overrides. That stupid kind of comes in and says.
It's kind of in your blood, right?
Yeah, just because, when people. Remember when we used to chase people? All you got to do is just give them a little push. You don't got to tackle them.
Yeah.
If they're hauling ass running and they're in front of you, just tap them. They'll go ass over tea kettle. They'll fall. But anyway.
I think that should be a question to all our listeners. What would you do? Would you film it? Would you do something about it? Would you try to take them down?
The answer to that one's going to be generational.
Yeah.
It'll be supported by our 50-year-old asses and older.
Yeah.
And I think if we breach into the 30s and 40s, probably film it.
Yeah.
Maybe too dangerous, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could check him and then he comes back and he wants to swing on you. But more than likely, he doesn't want his friends to leave him in the car. So you kind of got that on your side, I think.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be left alone because, they're driving. They're not going to be running up Rodeo Drive with suitcases for 3 blocks. Probably not. Wow. It's sad, Tim, isn't it?
It is a sad state of affairs. Yeah. What else you got for me? We've given the real estate update today. We've talked about the divorce update, talked about some other stats and just crime in general. San Francisco always makes that list.
God, they do.
Chicago always makes that list.
I haven't been there in so long. I got to go back. I got to go back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
I still think it's okay. No?
We shouldn't be talking about San Francisco all the time. It's not San Francisco Insider Show.
Oh, that's right. I got to go to Santa Clarita. I got to get out there and see what that's like. I've heard good things about this Santa Clarita.
Yeah. Hey, so I've seen you've been using I think it's the video editing tool.
Yep. And you know what's funny about that? You don't know what it's going to produce. I did a very short video and I got 12 out of it. I did a 30-minute one and I got 3. So you just don't know what it's going to like. But I think it comes down to more, if you were to speak in a bullet point format and have enough pregnant pauses throughout your conversation, I think it's able to pull that data. And that's what it did. It pulled nice sound bites and tidied up and then added the frames and everything.
Yeah. I know when I do the interview style podcasts of guests, and it's more Q&A, than with some offshoot rambling, those turn out really good. And I'll try and structure the conversation that way. So it will be questions on those podcasts where it's, there's a definite, here's a new question, right? Like you said, there's a pause, there's a definite new question and answer, and it's pretty good at picking those out.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to start playing with it more. I was disappointed with a 30-minute experience, but now I realize I shouldn't have been. So I'm going to go back, and that's what I did. I produced, I don't know, I spun off 8 or 9, just one right after another. I have a question, kind of a professional question. But if I don't ask you, I don't want it to slip. Have a client that has been not with his wife, living in the same house for 16 years, and just never got divorced, maybe for medical insurance reasons, kind of keeping her on it, right? But separate, living, everything. Wants to buy a house in another state, and his wife says, "Hey, buddy, I want some money." He's like, "Well, no. In Idaho, she has to be added to the deed."
Yeah.
Because they're husband and wife. I don't know if it's the same in California. I think so. She has to be part of it.
She'd either have to be added to the deed or sign a quit claim. I know I have clients that have bought property still married on paper, but definitely separated for a time, that they just have to sign a quit claim deed. Now,
if they refuse to sign it, and just asking the question, if you've heard of this, if they refuse to sign it and they go ahead and allow the deal to close, she's added to the deed, is she now 50% property owner?
So that
is that also argued on if they're together or separated or what?
I think it gets tricky because when do they consider themselves separated?
15, 16 years ago, not in the same house, not sharing anything except for...
Yeah. So the way I see that going, if I were to do the research on it, is that, like, let me put it this way. If someone's been separated 16 years, you don't have to be physically separated. They're living in the house together, right? And but they moved into different rooms 16 years ago. That is the date of separation. So it's 2023 when you file for divorce. You would say the date of separation would be 15, 16 years ago. Now that would have to be agreed upon. It could be a litigated issue. I mean, wife could say, no, we're living in separate rooms, but we're still married. And I think the date of separation is today, the date of filing for divorce. So that can be an issue there right off the bat if she argues that. So I think for that person in question, they'd want to probably establish this on paper and file the divorce, at least the petition, and set that date of separation in motion on the petition. So that
prior to the closing.
Well, it doesn't have to be. But if they're gonna, if she wants to be added because she wants 50% of it,
she wants, not that much, but
I
think by the action she will be now entitled, maybe because she just wants kind of blood money, for lack of a better word.
Oh, because he's able to buy a house and obviously has some cash. So
yeah.
Gotcha.
So and probably bought her out 16 years ago, and now, God, if I just would have, now, oh, here's the opportunity now we're selling, and buying something else.
I think the issue, if she's going to force to be on it, is they're going to have to get that finalized before you would buy. Otherwise, it's if she's not going to sign the quit
down
claim,
to zero, down to zero,
she's going to be on
I guess
title.
you'll have to future try to deal with it.
And then she's on it, and at some point a quit claim would have to be signed.
Correct.
So might as well do it before. But yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, that's good. Good intel.
Because most of my clients are amicable, I should say all of them. It's that's not an issue usually we have to address. They're wanting to buy, like they're in the middle of their divorce, and one spouse, say they're selling a house, and the spouse or both want to buy another house. They're agreeing to. The lights going off here. They're agreeing that they're going to each buy their own house, and they're going to sign the quit claim because they're selling. They're taking the proceeds of the sale of the home, and then they're each going to use their 50% for a down payment. So if they're closing on the house prior to the divorce being finalized, then they would have to sign a quit claim. Otherwise, if the divorce does finalize before closing, then they're no longer technically married.
Okay, very good. That's good to know. I'll relay that. Yeah, that was a question that comes up. It's just, you had a neighbor cell I ran into at a Trader Joe's selling, I guess, looking for an agent, but I guess he's done, right, neighbor?
Oh, you know what? That's a question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Won't name them, but
no. So Jimmy and Jimmy.
How do I want to say this? We noticed on Redfin, because we have like our area like on alert, right, for our house.
Yeah.
We got like a pop-up to new listing, and it was who we're talking about.
Yeah.
No sign went up, and then then we talked to the neighbor, and they had a full price offer in 24 hours, and then the listing was completely gone, not pending, not just disappeared completely. But it's selling. They're moving. They're packing. They're probably leaving in.
That's what I was told at Trader Joe's.
What's that?
So, that's what I heard at. I was talked to. Said, "Oh, wish you could have done it for us. We were looking for it." It's like, "Oh, I didn't know."
Yeah. How would you do that on your end? How would it come off completely?
Oh no, they probably put it in the pending, which doesn't give it any internet exposure anymore because they're completely happy with the offer they have, and they don't want to have any more advertising on the property.
But wouldn't we see it in pending, like on Redfin and everything else?
You would see it active pending, but you wouldn't see it pending. There's two statuses for that now. There's active and backup, and then there's
literally
pending.
On the. That's the standard. It goes pending. It's not shown ever. It's gone from the public view.
Yeah, so you have coming soon, active under contract, and yes, pending pulls it.
Interesting. I thought you could.
And that's from most systems. Also, it could be pulled. God, I wish I had the street name. You want to throw it in the chat?
I thought they did some secret transaction to so it wouldn't show.
No, this is this. I could probably pull it if you throw it in the chat. The street.
Yeah.
We'll keep it all gray.
So pending, 100% pending. It disappears entirely.
Correct, and that's on most of the sites now. Some of them that are broker based might be able to still show it, but it's not very common. They could also. Oh, you're in the private chat?
Yeah. I thought before years back you could see pending listings.
You could. Then they changed the status, and now they have it active backup and then pending.
So if you wanted it to be pending but still show, you would tag it one way so people could still see it.
If I still wanted it to be advertised, if I thought the offer was great, but maybe there's a chance of non-performance or something. I don't know what that could look like, because usually when I'm working for a seller, the offer we get I run through everything. But in this case, maybe they were so satisfied with it, or they didn't want anybody else to bother them.
Gotcha. What is the percentage of people doing that generally? Are they wanting to? I guess it depends on how solid the offer is.
Correct. It would have to, cash, and it could also be a week close or a week and a half close. If it's cash, they could close it, and if everybody was really locked in and they waived it all, they could close in a few days.
Yeah, the neighbors have been pretty tight-lipped about it. So everyone, it was one of the higher prices or highest price for our neighborhood. So everyone's hoping they get it because there's a couple of neighbors looking to move and just talking.
Don't forget me. Don't forget me. I'm here.
Right? Talking about moving.
Please, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So let me run this up here.
Everyone's like, "Hey, where'd the listing go? It's totally gone, and we can't see." They want to know what they got. So I guess we just have to wait for it to close.
So I will tell you right now. So we have. Well.
So that was a new change.
721. 721. 721. Do you think? July 21st. 5 days on.
Maybe before that. I think it's been at least 3 or 4 weeks.
Let me see here. Let me do this.
So you're saying that this is something new. You can just totally put it pending and it disappears. Or fairly new.
Yes, and it's probably maybe 2.5 years old.
Oh, okay.
That status change. Would you let me see if I can do this here. I want to see if this is let me text this to you.
While you're bringing that up, don't eat fruit for the next year in Santa Clarita?
Why?
A fruit fly that is native to Asia has triggered a first-of-its-kind quarantine on produce in the Santa Clarita Valley. A nearly 80-square-mile quarantine zone now has been in effect for the last couple of weeks, actually, after more than 20 of these invasive flies were found in Stevenson Ranch. The fruit fly has been identified as the yellow and black Tau fruit fly. Experts consider it a very serious pest for several important California crops, things like avocados, citrus, tomatoes, and peppers. So they're going to be fighting that fly as much as they can.
Right.
So how about that?
You know what? It's a beautiful insect. If I may. It's got gold highlights. You know how I like my gold. Oh, look at your text. Was that the house?
Yes.
Finished cash. They just
really?
Finished it. 5 days done, sold. That's why it fell off. It's closed.
It's been sold?
It's sold. It's sold in 5 days.
It closed 5 days ago.
Yeah, no, it closed in 5 days. Contract date 7/23, 6/13. They went in active. But it was jumping around 6/13, 6/13, 6/19, 7/23, and then 7/23 closed.
So
but it only shows 5 days total.
That's impressive. A cash real estate deal can close in 5 days.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody's got to be on board. I've closed them in 3, but I mean everybody's got to be on the same page.
Wow.
Yeah, so it went out $900,000 and 5 days total.
Wow.
Let me see what else did there. Anything fancy?
Not bad.
900 and no concessions, so no closing costs, nothing. And it went. I don't understand. They checked. It went cash. It went conventional. It went FHA. It couldn't have gone FHA. It wouldn't have closed in any less than 20, 30 days FHA. Yeah. Conventional, maybe 15, 25. It had to be cash. And it closed 21st of July. Okay. All done. $900,000.
Wow.
It was 2 different agents. The agent that had the listing is different than the agent that represented the buyer.
Yeah.
So it wasn't any one of those insider deals that sometimes creep in.
Yep.
I've been using a new facial scrub. What do you think? Do you see the glow?
I think your lighting might be. I see the glow on top of your head.
But no, but I mean, my skin, it looks refreshed, right?
It does. It does.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Well, I'll tell you what, we have some guests lined up for the audience they're gonna be here soon, so we're gonna get those out there so you guys can watch this interview again, because that's the best part.
My cue in the music.
Yep, I think we're good. I'll tell you this, it was a great show.
Always something good to talk about.
Very much, my friend. I hope your week's great. We're at Tuesday already. I can't believe it's August. Do you believe August?
I know.
Really, August.
It'll be Christmas before you know it.
Oh, I can't wait. My favorite holiday.
All right, Connor. Sign us off.
All right, brother. Give my best to everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.